Hundreds of gun owners in Florida have been ordered to give up their guns under a new law that took effect after the supposed Parkland shooting in February. The risk protection order signed by Governor Rick Scott just 3 weeks after the Stoneman Douglas incident aims to temporarily remove weapons from gun owners who have been deemed by a judge to possibly be a threat to themselves or to others. Remember, when the government claims to temporarily take something from you, it's rare that they ever give it back.
I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
Roughly 200 firearms have been confiscated in the state since the law was enacted. A 5-person team in the county that's worked solely on the risk protection law reportedly has filed 64 risk protection petitions in court. Broward County has filed 88 risk protection petitions since March. Every single petition filed under the order in Pinellas County has so far been granted by the judge, and it looks like he's just warming up. The first gun seizure under the law occurred in April when Florida authorities confiscated an AR-15 from an Army veteran. Jaron Smith's gun was seized when he refused to surrender it voluntarily, and the officers also seized a .22 caliber rifle he owned, hundreds of rounds of ammunition, a bump stock, and numerous other weapon-related items. In addition to confiscating guns, the law also raised the age to buy a rifle to 21 and established a 3-day waiting period on gun purchases. So much for shall not be infringed. This goes to show you that it doesn't matter if it's a Democratic lawmaker or a Republican lawmaker. They are coming after your rights.
Threats, guns, and a new law aimed at stopping violence. Nearly 5 months after Florida passed a measure that lets law enforcement take away gun rights, I-Team investigator Katie LeGrone discovers how often it's being used and why some of these cases aren't so black and white.
You've got AK-47 style here. You've got an AR-15 here.
Sergeant Jason Schmittendorf takes us inside an evidence room.
Some hunting rifles, cache of handguns here.
A sampling of surrenders under Florida's new Risk Protection Act.
We've taken in right around 200 firearms and about 30,000 rounds of ammunition.
The law, swiftly passed after the Parkland school shooting, temporarily strips gun owners of their gun rights and hardware if a judge deems them a threat to themselves or others.
Keep firearms out of the wrong people's hands.
In Pinellas County, a 5-man team is now devoted to the task. So far, they've filed 64 risk protection petitions, second only to Broward.
It is a constitutional right to keep and bear arms, and when you are asking the court to deprive somebody of that right, we need to make sure that we're making good decisions, right decisions, and the circumstances warrant it.
Statewide, we've learned risk protection cases now total over 450. Concealed license firearm holders make up just over a quarter of them.
I think we're doing this because it makes us feel safer. But what's wrong with that? It violates the Constitution.
Attorney Kendra Paris believes after 4.5 months, Florida's version of the red flag law is starting to reveal some disturbing gray.
These are individuals who are often basically exercising their First Amendment rights online. Maybe it was odious, maybe people didn't like it, but they were hit with the risk protection order because of it.
Take a UCF student whose story made headlines when police filed a risk protection order after he praised mass shooters online. Another involved a minor who had a dream of killing. Neither had guns, both hired Paris, and both won.
The people whom I've represented fought back because they cared about their future and not because they cared about owning firearms.
Paris thinks the law needs to be narrowed down to only people with proof of gun ownership or those who attempt to purchase one. And threats better defined, she says.
As it's written right now, the harm could be 6 months from now. Maybe in a year this person will go crazy. We don't know.
We're not out hunting people down.
Records show in Pinellas County, the majority of cases involve people with histories of mental illness who threaten suicide, not hurting others. Each one granted by a judge.
Have they all been pretty black and white?
They have.
But as other parts of the state show, the risk and the protection isn't always so clear. I'm I-Team investigator Katie LeGrone, taking action for you.
Before you go, check out one of the most in-your-face, hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt stores on the planet. Just by wearing one of these t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, or cutoffs, and without saying a word, You can let people know that black rifles matter. You can inform the sleeping masses that fluoride is dumbing them down, that Google is a gulag-style censorship machine, that the Department of Homeland Security is merely security theater, that the NSA makes your private life their business, that the Grim Reaper supports everyone's troops, that we need to legalize freedom, that in life there are no excuses, that CNN is a communist news network, voting is the suggestion box of slaves, that 9/11 was a lie, and that all official stories should be questioned. Also, let people know we're in the middle of a full-blown sheepvolution, taxation is theft, the IRS is an immoral robbery service, cops enjoy protecting and serving the crap out of you, that the space you occupy is not a gun-free zone, and that gun-free zones are the most dangerous places on earth. Your purchase helps support more hard-hitting content on my censored channel. As of the recording of this video, I have over 90 designs. I take your requests for new designs, and I'm adding new ones every week, so check back often. The link to the store is in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.